reason that a lot of people think that our world is terrible today, and I do not in any way deny that we're having a financial crisis. In fact, that's what I came here to bring you information to help you solve. There is indeed some level of hardship, but the truth of the matter is you and I are living in one of the best times ever in the history of the world, and I'm going to prove that to you. The reason why a lot of people do this is because they actually love the idea of having a romantic relationship with the past. Anything that did not happen when you were around, you think it was better than what it is that you are enduring. So I'll show you that in real time. Let's look at the reality of humans' history. Let's look at famine, let's look at plague, and let's look at wars. If you were in any of these worlds, if you were born, look at this. Between 1692 and 1694, you would have, by every stretch of the imagination, probably died from famine. There was a famine in the past resulting from bad weather and ruined harvest. It killed 2.8 million people in France alone, which was 15% of the population. Hunger killed them. Next slide. If you were there in Asia, Europe, and North America, plague in the past, you will see that the Black Death in the 1300s, 40% of England was wiped out. Think about that right now. In Ghana now, we're 32 million. If 40% of us are wiped out, how many are we talking now? Over 10 or 12 million people died. Look at it down there. 200 million people were killed globally by a plague. Let's go to the next slide. A very interesting one. There would be no such meeting. If there were a meeting of young people, it would either be a military recruiting thing, or you will be getting a military brief to go to war. By the time you were 16, 17, you had already been taken as a young boy and you were going to fight in the military. Millions were killed by violence. Think about this very carefully. In that world, peace was the abnormal. War was normal. So whenever there was a period of peace, everybody knew it was just temporal and war was going to resume. Think about that world. You can be angry at Akufo-Addo, you can be angry at Mahama, you can have your big beef with MTN because your internet cut, but you are definitely not thinking about going to war on Thursday. Are you with me? So what I'm saying to you, we live in a better world. Evidence for abundance in our world, even though we have scarcity, global income has gone up crazily. Guys, for women in this house, with all due respect, do you know that there was a time that they used to actually say, as a matter of principle and societal belief, that the place for women were in the kitchen? A lot of you are now dressed and you're here. A female speaker just spoke. That would have been considered a taboo. If she did it in secrecy, she would have been found out, reported to the king, and either publicly flogged or beheaded. Say, my world is a better one. It's easy for people to go through 4 years of university education to receive a degree that might or might not turn into economic equivalent. However, you show people the route to a skill that they can use 20 weeks. Not 20 years, 20 weeks. In fact, Medicis, have the skills I teach you. Can't you grab it in 4 weeks? And for some funny reason, they think it's a scam. Shocks me. Absolutely shocks me. On the continent of Africa, every single thing that has the potential to genuinely transform people's lives, and I don't blame them. Half the time, the first group of people who introduce that opportunity introduce it with a lot of dishonesty. So it makes the first group of people who encounter it go back and shout, scam. But my problem is, half the people who then re-echo the sentiment have never themselves done any due diligence or applied themselves in any way.